Hello everyone, it's Dan from WatchMojo. This year, WatchMojo and Chevrolet were nice enough to send me on the Bolt to E3 road trip, which you can watch on our channel on July 1st. And while the trip was a blast, actually getting to attend E3 was a dream come true for me. I won't be getting into any game announcements here since all of that stuff is basically old news by now, but instead I'll be telling you about some of the cool stuff I got to experience at the show. Be sure to subscribe to catch our latest show, the Bolt to E3. 4 gamers take an epic road trip from San Fran to LA, gaming all the way. Watch the whole series now on WatchMojo. We're here at E3, dream come true, let's do it! Number 5, gaming on a large scale. This might sound a bit silly, but bear with me. While gaming is an industry that's growing every day, it still remains a deeply personal experience for many, including myself. I'm always delighted when a commercial for a video game comes on during the Super Bowl, but it's during those moments that the whole room will turn to me and ask me what the heck they just saw. And while many of us game with our friends and family, it's rare that we see our hobby get recognition outside of our favorite websites and YouTube channels. So, imagine, if you will, a place where seemingly infinite amounts of time, money, and production value has gone into making a space entirely devoted to gaming. Everything's familiar, but on a scale you've never seen in your life. The Monster Hunter games you can never convince your friends to try is now a giant, life-size Rathalos on the showroom floor. Enormous screens are playing Marvel vs. Capcom to a rapt audience. Uruks from Mordor prowl the grounds taking selfies.
I like selfies.
And everyone just kinda gets it, you know? Aside from a few bewildered cameramen, security guards, and producers, everyone there knows exactly what Quake is, what improvements they want to see in the new Star Wars Battlefront 2, and why a new Metroid Prime game is a big friggin' deal. It's a humbling and overwhelming experience to see a medium that never really gets to leave your bedroom completely take over several blocks in LA.
I think they really missed a golden opportunity by not calling it Shadow of Mordor.
Number 4, Star Trek Bridge Crew with Watson AI, Ubisoft, and Nvidia. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those things that was extra cool simply because of how exclusive the showing was. Nvidia set up an appointment with my producer, and when we arrived at their booth, they ushered our team into a secretive little back room for a private demo of the fancy new mode for Bridge Crew. In case you didn't know, Star Trek Bridge Crew is basically every Trekkie's fantasy come to life. It's a VR game where they put you in the literal captain's chair of a Federation starship. The twist, though, I was told, is that while Bridge Crew is usually a co-op game, with your crewmates being controlled by other players, this time my crewmates would be all controlled by Watson AI. You know, the same Watson AI that crushed on Jeopardy! Really, my only complaint about this is that I really didn't have enough time to get acquainted with the game before my demo was over. Just like you can't graduate from Starfleet in a day, just 15 minutes in the captain's chair is not quite enough time to really stand toe-to-toe with Picard and Kirk.
I feel strangely comfortable like this.
Like it's right, you know?
Number 3, Mario Odyssey with Nintendo.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Andrew Collins from Nintendo Canada. You are from Nintendo Canada, right?
I am absolutely. Don't
Okay.
it for you.
No, I won't.
I don't know if you've heard, but Nintendo basically won E3 with Mario Odyssey, and Nintendo of Canada was nice enough to let me try at their press booth. When I arrived, I was told that I'd be playing the game with a representative who'd be guiding me through and giving me some pointers. This initially seemed a bit odd. I've played Mario games since I was like 5, but it turned out to be kind of a blessing. You see, Mario Odyssey is a surprisingly complex game, relatively speaking, of course. I was frequently surprised at how many times I'd run past something, only for my guide to tell me to stop, turn around, and look again.
A great example here is if you throw your cap at the electric charge.
Let's do it.
By now you've no doubt heard about the Cappy mechanics, right? How Mario can throw his hat at things and essentially take control of them? This, along with a few other neat tricks, gives the whole thing a real Zelda kind of vibe. How the game gives you a set of interworking mechanics and systems, and then it's up to you to use those systems creatively in order to gain access to out-of-reach locations and uncover all the secrets. As someone who's always found the Mario games infinitely charming, but at times a bit shallow in the long run, Odyssey seems to offer that extra little bit of depth that I've been craving.
No, it's October 27th. You'll be able to get your hands on this.
October 27th, sounds good. Okay, it'll be out in time for my birthday. For those fans out there that want to treat your favorite personality.
Number 2, Destiny 2 in 4K with Nvidia.
Hey guys, I am about to play Destiny 2 in Nvidia's custom lounge.
As a PC gamer who also happens to be a huge fan of the Borderlands series, I've always felt somewhat envious of my console brethren and their access to Destiny. While it might not have had the best reception upon release, and it continues to cause great debate in the community, I've always wanted to see what all the fuss was about, but never really enough to go out and buy a new console. Needless to say, when Destiny 2 was announced for PC, I was pretty pumped, and clearly Nvidia were pretty pumped about it too, because they set up a private room with beastly computers so members of the press could try the PC version for themselves. Granted, Destiny 2 is going to be a game that really shows its worth in the long run. Weeks of loot, raids, and endgame content will really show us how good of a game it's going to be. But I can say for certain that right off the bat, it feels like it was made for the PC first. Running in 4K at 60 FPS, controlling your Guardian with a mouse and keyboard, it just feels really right. So, the only thing that's really left to worry about is whether or not Bungie and Activision can deliver a lasting experience, because they clearly got the graphics, gameplay, and performance totally covered.
Your journey ends here.
Oh, he meant literally. I thought he was gonna kill me, but no, it's just done.
Number 1. Echo Arena at the PC Gaming Show. Simply put, this was the moment that made me believe in VR. Bridge Crew was very cool, but if I'm speaking honestly, there wasn't a whole lot about it that made me feel like experiencing it in VR was a super key component to the game that's in there. That was not the case here. Echo Arena is basically the multiplayer component to the upcoming adventure title, Lone Echo, and it plays kinda like Ultimate Frisbee in Zero G. But the important part here is Echo Arena's use of the Oculus Touch VR controllers allows for insanely lifelike recreations of your real-life hand movements in-game, meaning that within a few seconds you're grabbing bars to pull yourself forward, punching opponents that get too close, and tossing discs just as easily as you would in real life. You can probably see from the footage that I really lost myself in this game, which was no small feat on a cramped showroom floor. This is a game that not only justifies its use of virtual reality, but it's also genuinely really fun to play. Simply put, it made a believer out of me.
That was so cool. I was in the orientation. I was like, man, it's all right, I guess, playing. But when you can grab stuff with your hands and fling the disc properly, it's incredible. Coolest thing I've seen today, definitely.
Don't forget to check out The Bolt to E3, a brand new series from WatchMojo, where 4 gamers take an epic road trip from San Fran to LA, gaming all the way.